battle supreme. Follow your destiny in the battle supreme. Fight for your legacy in the battle supreme. Follow your destiny, battle supreme. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the battle supreme. All right, everybody, welcome back. We got another episode for you today, and we're excited to be doing this, as always. So thank you for tuning in. And make sure, share the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and head over to our social media pages. Head over to our website, ArborCreekTheBand.com. Sign up for the mailing list. All that good stuff. Welcome. Now, tell them what we're doing.
All the leaves are brown, leaves are brown, the sky is gray, and the sky is gray. For a while, yeah, since we're on video, I'm just going to do a quick side tangent. Do you want a quick plug? I got this t-shirt from the MIM. That's the Musical Instrument Museum located in Arizona. My fiance graduated her bachelor's degree and via Arizona State. So we went out and we were doing some research what to do while we were out there for the weekend with their folks. And we stumbled on the Musical Instrument Museum. And let me tell you, whether you are a musician or just a casual music fan, there's something there for everybody. It takes you not only like the history of like contemporary music and like, you know, rock and roll and all that stuff, but they have like ancient instruments. And honestly, that was probably the coolest part of the whole entire trip. They had a whole, like, you had to pay extra to go to this ancient instrument exhibit. And in there, among all this stuff there, but the coolest thing I thought when I saw there was they had like the first ever like horn that was played at the Olympic Games.
Wow.
Or like one of them or something. It's ancient, dude.
That's crazy.
Cool. They had one of the first ever violins ever created. Yeah, dude. It's like I was telling David before we recorded this, I was like, we all like once we make it out like west, at least like in the Arizona area, we need to go there, dude. And it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. But it has it all in these different languages. But if you see it in English, it says music is the language of the soul.
Wow.
Yeah. But it says in all these languages,
powerful.
Represents unity and what music does, you know, for humans. It brings us all together. And I'm going back. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
And the sun, dude. Never been to Arizona before. And everyone knows, you know, I'm white as a ghost. I burn every summer. I did not burn last summer. That's because I spent, you know, that weekend in the spring in the Arizona sun. And it, like, prepped me. And I never burned. I didn't put any sunscreen on. It was crazy.
Arizona sun.
But that was a side tangent. On deck for the battle.
Bam.
We kind of alluded to it. We're covering all things 60s folk rock or folk pop.
Oh.
So on the deck, we have the Mamas and the Papas versus the Byrds.
Yeah.
The Mamas and the Papas being more on that folk pop side, and the Byrds is like a folk rock type thing. The Byrds spawning the careers of, you know, David Crosby.
Rest his soul.
Yeah, low key. Rest in peace. Well, he died this year. Or was it last year? Like towards the end of 22?
No, he died like a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, a month or so ago. Yeah.
But yeah, spawning the careers.
It might have been January.
You have Gene Clark. You know, he was another big name to come out of there. He had a lot of people in there, but yeah, those are two of the names that definitely stuck out to me. And then on the side of the Byrds, it's more of a quartet type style vocalings with a backing band.
The Mamas and the Papas, you mean?
The Mamas and the Papas. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, you have Denny Doherty, Cass Elliott, John Phillips, and Michelle Phillips. But story goes that was it John Phillips? It was a tried and true like classic folk guy. They made a career move and went more on the pop side, but he was more of a tried and true like old school folk guy. They made a little career shift, but they had so many hits in the 60s, and I think they're way bigger than people realize when you go back of it. They were really big in the 60s. But yeah, both bands have great tunes. Byrds are super guitar heavy, which is really cool. But should be an interesting battle.
Oh, yes.
I'm ready.
So we're going to start off with the vocals. Really, both vocal and bands have multiple vocalists, and they kind of all share the thing. So I'm kind of doing like the whole umbrella because you got the quartet factor. All of them sing, and then over on there we have what is it? James Rogers, McQuinn, Crosby. Like they all kind of shared the vocal thing there. So who wants to go first?
I will go.
Who tickles you vocally?
Mamas and papas. Yeah, I mean, it's not too much to say, but that's going to be my pick. I mean, I think they just absolutely kill vocal harmonies and melody, and that's my pick. I don't really know how to go much deeper than that.
Yeah, I mean, both bands, they are vocally driven, but I think if you compare both of them, one's more guitar based and then one's more vocal based, and without a doubt Mamas and Papas are a vocal band.
Yeah, it's like everything in
that is their secret.
Everything in their music is around the vocals, and that's like the center of everything, and they're fantastic. So yeah, they
got so many like harmonies, but also they all build off each other with the counter melodies, and it's like they're doing all the orchestrated stuff, but like vocally there's so much stuff you could do there. Definitely, like, we're not trained singers, but we could probably take a little bit from their textbook here and there.
100%.
Liz, where are you at? She's classically trained.
There she is.
Well, since I brought up this guy's wife, we'll go with the Frank.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Byrds definitely, like you were saying, David, like with the harmonies and stuff, they harmonize sort of, but it's more of a monotone, like kind of very like it's folk, but it's more of the like the acid psych stuff. Not so much rock, but just in that vein of like having like a lot of sometimes their guitars sound like sitars, and they do like weird, melodies with them and stuff like that. But the Mamas and the Papas has my pick. They just have better harmonies. Plus having the two girls singing the harmonies too, you get the big contrast between the two.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like all the vocals hit the certain, I don't know, the technical, like you got your tenors.
It just feels good to sing. Like
like
you guys were singing when we started the podcast. It feels good to sing the girl parts, and it feels good to sing the guy parts because the harmonies are just so, like,
locked
together.
Awesome. What do you think, Larry? Better vocally?
Yeah, I'll bring it around town. Go with Mamas and Papas. But I'm thinking both these bands are American, right? But I feel like the Byrds has like the British invasion like vocal sound like more.
Yeah.
You can hear the influence.
I feel like it's just goes to the fact that they're big Beatles.
Yeah,
guys,
huge Beatles, dude. There's like definitely a Beatles shade. Like,
it's even in the name.
Yeah, right.
A misspelled animal name.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right there, yeah.
But I do love the vocals in the Byrds too, and I love the 12-string and stuff. Besides the point, but yeah, we'll bring it around town.
Oh.
Round and round,
round and round,
round and round.
Sweet. So we are switching a little bit up with the questions today.
Since
it was kind of hard, we usually we pinpoint down, we compare guitar players and bass players, the bass players, the drummers. But the mainstay of the Mamas and Papas is the vocal quartet, and they just have backing band or various musicians just on the recordings and stuff. So it's kind of hard, and it kind of just changes with every album basically. So we're just gonna go with overall instrumentation in both bands. And I mean, there's a lot to pick apart with there. I'd say maybe the Byrds, like musically, there's more there in like that aspect because Mamas and Papas are more just chord based, and not like many riffs or like guitar lines and stuff like that. It's a different type of songwriting. But yeah, what do you think, Larry? Better overall instrumentation. They got wicked guitar trio in the Byrds.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go with the Byrds. I have to go with the Byrds as a guitar player because of 8 Miles High.
Great song.
That's why.
That's it.
That's it. That's because of that. That song.
Shocker, because of the guitar.
Put it up. Yeah. Puts it up. So
run it.
Yeah.
Hi, Frank.
They definitely both groove. And they both have like classical aspects in like the notes they choose and play. You know, it's pretty cool. Like listening to it, and it's like, yeah, it's definitely folk. Like it's from the '60s. Like they both have that '60s sound. But I'm gonna have to go with.
Just let it out, man.
I'm gonna have to go with the Mamas and Papas.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of the guitar stuff I noticed with the Byrds, like, I mean, they were probably on drugs and whatnot, but sometimes it's just not in tune. Or they're not playing the right notes. I don't know, it's weird. Like, it could be what they were going for, I guess, but I'd rather listen to the Mamas and Papas, personally.
Yeah, you just don't like what they're throwing down. It's not
Yeah.
big. Not that you don't like it.
No,
You
no.
just like Mama's and Papa's better.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I was feeling bad
Dude.
about myself.
Honestly, never mind. I take it back.
Oh, fuck.
He said, son of a bitch. All right, what do you think, David?
I'm gonna go with the Byrds. The Byrds.
The Byrds.
The Byrds.
Da Birds.
The Byrds?
He said, da Birds.
Yards.
The Byrds. I'm going to Byrds. You know, I'm gonna give it to them.
Bird.
The Byrds?
Bird.
I love a good guitar, and they got some good guitar. So
Some good 12 string.
Sweet.
Good drums, too.
yeah, good everything.
Awesome.
Everything.
Well, like I said, we're kind of changing the order up a little bit, so I'm throwing it in the first point round. We're going to go with the debut albums.
Ooh.
All right.
Honestly, if you can believe your eyes and ears, believe it or not, that album was honestly one of the first vinyls I actually ever acquired.
Oh, really?
I have it. It's a great album, and it's definitely like when you look back at '60s album covers, it's sort of iconic. You got all of them in the bathtub, and I think I don't know, it just always stuck out to me. It's probably because it's just a little like nostalgic because it was one of the first I got. I don't remember if I acquired it through like Goodwill or something like that. Actually, I think it was actually so my ex, I guess my ex step grandmother, she was getting rid of a bunch of vinyls, and my stepdad just gave me a bunch of shit, dude. It was just a bunch of used old ass vinyls. Had like literally shit ton of Elvis, like the Elvis in Hawaii, the Christmas stuff. Had the NBC special, his comeback thing. I have that on vinyl. But one of them was the Mamas and Papas, the first album. And that one, some of them were scratchy. That one still plays great. And it looks awesome. It's a good conversation piece.
Hell yeah.
And I'm probably going to bump it again. So I've lost my vinyl bug within the past years. But I have been thinking about dusting them off and getting back into it. It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
If you want to do it right.
Yeah, for sure. Versus... Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. But yeah, Mr. Tambourine Man, their first album. Which one, in your eyes, is the better and more groundbreaking debut album? I'm going to go with Larry first.
I think the Mamas and the Papas. I think that album is more of a 60s staple for their band, where Mr. Tambourine Man totally was too. Maybe it's just my personal thought, but when I think of the Byrds, I think of the Blue Turn 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 album.
Yeah.
That's like their
biggest
Disraeli
name.
Gears. You know what I mean? Like that's like their big album. Where the Mamas and the Papas, I feel like that first album is their biggest album. And it might just be because I've seen that album so long because you've had it. I don't know, but I feel like that has California Dreaming on it, right?
It has all their hits.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
yeah,
Monday,
like that's
Monday.
yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, it has all their big hits.
I mean, I feel like that.
It's that first album we always talk about.
That's
it
the
has
album.
their songs.
That's that album, right? So I have to go with that album. The Mamas and the Papas, their debut album is more groundbreaking than the Byrds to me. I mean, Mr. Tambourine Man, if I'm not mistaken, is a cover of
Bob
a Dylan
song.
song.
It's Bob Dylan song.
So the whole like you're gonna release your first album and your name is gonna be a cover song. You know,
I
feel
do.
like that's a
I
little
do
strange.
like their take on it though.
No, I really like it, and I like the song "Feel a Whole Lot Better When You're Gone." I like the Byrds a lot. I mean, I like that album, but it's not as groundbreaking as the Mamas and the Papas first album. If you're gonna put them neck and neck,
Head to head.
you know.
Toe to toe.
Sweet. Which album you like more, Frank?
I like the Mamas and the Papas album more. Mr. Tambourine Man is good. I do think it's crazy. I mean, maybe a lot of bands did this back then, but like to have the name of the album be like the single off the album. But maybe back then 45s was a huge thing, so maybe they had come into play with it, and so everybody knows that Mr. Tambourine Man is on that album.
Right.
You know, you call it that. And same for Turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like the Mamas and the Papas one more.
I mean, you got a point there because it's coming off the grips of like we've talked about it before. It's like the music industry back then, like in the 40s and the 50s and like into the 60s. You know, it was very much like the singles
base.
era, 45s,
Radio.
push the single. And most albums that came out, like after that, it was just like greatest hits. Like that's why all those 50s rock and roll stuff, like they don't have full albums. It's just like their golden stuff that came out in the early 50s. And then we later on, like in the like mid to late 60s and on, we got to the album era. You know what I mean? Where like you are selling the whole albums, you have your singles, but like albums ruled. Everyone was buying the the full vinyls and stuff. But
it gave bands more of an identity. I feel like having a whole album as opposed to just being like a singular guy, like image, like Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, like they were all like guys, but then the albums were like bands with like more of a depth.
Gave the artists more, freedom to like tell their stories and stuff instead of like slapping all their 2.5 minute hits just on a thing, and they all kind of. I wouldn't say sound the same, but like they're all just hit songs. But
They're
like
hit
they
songs,
gave more times to experiment,
Be
and stuff.
creative, yeah.
That's a crazy thing too.
Beatles.
There's so many songs on these albums, and they're all like 2.5 minutes long because that's just what the vibe was.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
You think they did it on purpose, or do you think music just wasn't evolved yet? Because I feel like it's evolved over the years.
I think both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. I think both, because there's definitely old music, man, that's very long. Like old, you know what I mean?
Oh,
but as far as like American music, I think it evolved.
I think that it's definitely always has to do with the times.
For sure.
And society and the time. But like Larry said, I mean, you go back to classical music, that was long.
Yep.
That was like the OG form of music, and it was a lot of long pieces.
So it was made for events and like churches.
Exactly,
and,
the society
like
and the time that it was in. And then once you get to this era that we're talking about in like 50s, 60s era, you're more talking about radio.
Everything's hopping, you know what I'm saying?
And jukebox radio, like it's entertainment. It's supposed to be just easy, catchy, good to listen to stuff, And then as time went on, as Al was getting at with the whole album era thing, people started to get more into like the albums and the
digging
art.
the full sound.
Yeah, and the art behind everything,
Yep.
And that was just where society was at, and that was how things were. And I feel like even from then on, we've had phases of different stuff happen.
And it's almost like what's old is new again, because now the industry, it's back to that single model. Like it's more just pushing like those few songs, you know. But we went off on a tangent. You didn't answer yet though.
I did not.
So go ahead.
I definitely have to go Mamas and Papas on this one because it's just more of the iconic album. I think it's more important to them. So, yeah.
Another one.
Round.
God, it's like we're
Love
the
it.
same.
Sweet. Next, we're going on the song versus song. Now, technically, this isn't technically their biggest song, but I like it more, and we started the show with it. I'm picking California Dreamin'.
Wow.
Versus Larry talked about earlier, Turn. Probably the band's the Byrds' biggest song.
I would
Not
say
probably, definitely.
Yeah, it's their biggest song.
Sweet. I'm gonna throw it to David first.
All
So you can
right.
get some talking time in.
So both classics, great tunes. And I wouldn't say it's super easy for me because, like, I love California Dreamin'. It's a great song. I love to sing along to it. I love hearing it. But a part of me feels like maybe I've heard it one too many times and it's not as special because of that. Because that happens, when you hear something a little bit too much, you kind of like it loses its shine sometimes. Where Turn, Turn, Turn is just a really cool, groovy tune. And it has like this really unique vibe about it that I really enjoy. And I don't feel like I've heard it as many times. So I kind of have this weird feeling thinking about the two and trying to decide. But I'm going to go with California Dreamin' because I do think it is probably the better song.
Wow.
And I like it a little bit more. But not as easy as I would think,
Yeah, what's weird about that song is I feel like in the 60s, their biggest song was Monday, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like more people talk about California Dreaming now. Like, it stood longer in the test of time. It's in more movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, it just had more staying power. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Better song. Ah, shit. I didn't even say anybody. Frank. My bad. They're like, who?
Turn, Turn, Turn to me is like, when you think of the 60s, like that's like the one song that always comes in my head. And I don't even listen to it that often. But it just has, that, like,
Yeah.
like everyone's like having a good time, just chilling. But for the same reason that I gave the Mamas and Papas the point in the first round for like the instrumentation, I'm giving it to California Dreamin' for the flute solo.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say
The
that.
flute solo
How do you not talk about the flute solo?
Is like so highly underrated, but it fits so well because like they don't really have like, they're not like a guitar band, so like why would they have like it would almost seem random to have a guitar solo there.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like if a band were to cover it and throw a guitar solo in there,
That'd be
like
cool.
even note for note cover of the solo because it's a good solo,
Yeah.
it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So you just gave it. Are we doing
We're
it?
covering it. We're covering
Larry?
the song.
Maybe sexy. Yeah, what if we just
And it's
did?
like it's such a jazzy solo too. Like it's not even like
Yeah.
it's not rock. That's for sure.
We don't have to cover it, but
No.
maybe we could figure out a little content.
Even the beginning.
piece.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun,
And the
dun,
big,
dun. Yeah.
the big drop.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Let us know what you think. We're probably not going to cover it as a full band because we're not vocally inclined, but I think we can get Larry to do a guitar version of the solo. I think we can get him to do it.
There's a
He agreed.
possibility.
He agreed.
I'll do it.
All right,
You
there you
son
go.
of a
You heard
bitch.
it. We're going to do it. It's going to be in the works. Stay tuned, folks. Larry, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Turn, Turn, Turn.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's easy. That's easy for me. I love that song. I always loved that song. It's just a song like I remember hearing like my whole life when I was really young. Same thing with a lot of these songs from both of these bands, right? Because this is like when anyone listening 97 1 FM The Drive. It used to be like an old school rock station. Now it's like you hear Nirvana, which I guess is like older, but you used to hear a lot of like the Byrds and like 60s, even 50s music that you don't hear on the radio anymore. So I always remember hearing like those type songs on The Drive, like when it first came out in like the early 2000s when I was a kid in the car with my parents and shit like that. And I always remembered Turn, Turn, Turn. I also think that Turn, Turn, Turn is in, isn't it in Forrest Gump?
Probably.
In the 60s era of the movie.
And
That's-
CCR.
Yeah.
That's
well,
for
hell yeah.
that's for damn
That's
fact.
for damn sure.
Yeah. But
Damn movie, brother.
I'm pretty sure Turn, Turn, Turn's in that movie too. And I don't know, something about that song. I love the 12 string and I love the 12 string solo, how it mocks the vocal harmony just on the guitar. But then it does like the whole like bridge like era of song on the guitar also, and the drums like elevate. I don't know. I just like the solo section of that song. I think it's really cool and it's like jam packed into like a pop song. And that's just my pick. I love Turn, Turn, Turn.
Well, it don't matter. You lost.
You're right.
So I looked it up. Both of these songs are in Forrest Gump.
Yeah, totally right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a 60s ass
Yeah.
movie. So
Probably the best
one of-
soundtracks ever.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best
Yeah, for
soundtracks
sure.
ever when you really think about it.
Well, it's
insane.
like every single. There's like a solid chunk of the movie in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and then it ends, I think, in the 80s.
insane.
dude, I love that movie.
It's a good one.
Did you guys ever hear about like how when they were making the movie, they wanted all these songs, but they didn't have the money for them, so they put them in the movie anyways, hoping that
The movie
they
would
would
make that
they
much.
would yes,
And
Be able
pay
to
'em
pay it
out.
back.
and they did it, and then nobody was upset.
And it's one of the biggest movies of all time still.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's one of my favorites. I put it in my top 5.
Yeah,
It's like
it
I don't
is.
watch it all the time, but if I watch it every couple of years, it's just
It's always on TV.
does my
It's a
heart
great movie.
good. Yeah. Johnny. Loki, she's bogus. I can't even.
Definitely
Man, the love and
one of-
devotion out of that guy.
She's definitely one of like the. She's the villain, you know.
She kind of is. She's like, you're good enough for me now when I have freaking like AIDS. Like, is that
Basically.
bogus?
So
It's
bad.
kind of true. Like,
So bad.
but
You're right.
I don't know about that. It all just happened, and then she's in a better place, and she's not on drugs and doing all that stuff. Like, I get it. That was harsh. Sorry, folks.
Whatever.
We don't have. I can have a crude sense of humor sometimes.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah.
Dude, this is totally reminds me, like, this album name is something that David would say just, like, messing around because he just does, like, the opposite of shit because he's just David.
Weird.
Yeah, he's just weird. But the Papas and the Mamas,
Yeah.
like, I could see him being like, Papas and the Mamas
Never heard of them.
versus Fifth Dimension.
Oh man.
Whoa, dude.
There's actually a band called Fifth Dimension.
A great band called The Fifth Dimension.
Yeah, I have one of their. That was one of the collection
Yeah.
I got too. It's a Fifth Dimension album. That's a fire one.
You still
I
have
forgot
all
what it's
these?
called.
Yeah.
I have all of them. I have all my vines. I never threw any of
They're
them
like
out.
an old soul, like groove
Oh
band.
yeah, dude. It's a
Deep
fire.
shit.
I can't even name the album because I don't know.
Don't
them
they
that
sing
much,
the
but it's
song?
awesome.
The sound of Aquarius, the sound of Aquarius.
The Fifth Dimension? Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, I think so.
They sing yeah, Let the Sun Shine In,
Yeah,
Age of
sure.
Aquarius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that album is good.
yes.
That's the album you have? Oh.
no.
Let me
I
see
don't
the album
think so.
cover. If I saw the album cover, I'd probably be able to tell you. But
The album
I,
is called The Age of Aquarius.
I don't think that you do, or maybe you do.
That's not the one.
It's not it.
You are wrong.
It's all good.
Yeah. What?
It's all good. All right.
Next time.
All right, Papas and Mamas. What do you think?
I'm going to go.
You gonna go?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I'm going with the Mamas and the Papas and the Mamas, because I feel like it is it's more of a complete album. And it's cool to see how they transition from like song to song to song, and then like the way that album starts, it's just Mama Cass just talking. She's like singing song talking about I don't even know what, cookies and all this weird shit like about love, and then the next song drops in, and then yeah, I don't know, it's just it just seems like more of a complete like idea when it comes to making an album. Like the Fifth Dimension one is cool and there's some good songs on it, but I would rather listen to the Papas and the Mamas.
Will you listen to it again after this podcast?
I do believe so.
Oh, good. That's
I might,
awesome.
I might try to get it on vinyl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you'll get that one. I got mine. We can
Mr.
have a
Spaceman is
Mamas and
cool.
Papas night or something.
Oh, dude.
Dude, it'd be lit. What do you think, Lair?
Get her parents over here.
What
Which
am I
album do you
thinking?
like better?
I don't know.
They're not that
I'm looking
old.
through the song list.
I just meant mamas and papas, you know.
It's kind of what Frank was saying. The album is more of an album with the Mamas and the Papas, especially coming after their first album being their hit album, like with all the hits on it. You know what I mean? And then, but 8 Miles High is one of my favorite Byrds songs, and it's on that album.
So
Tough choice,
For that
man.
reason, I pick.
I'm torn.
For that reason,
No,
I
I'm
pick
a-
Fifth Dimension.
I'm actually gonna be with Frank and agree with what Frank said.
Wow, thanks, dude.
No problem.
Because of the guitar.
Give you some support. That's my pick.
Is it because of the guitar?
No, it's actually not.
It's because of the bass.
I'll let you know why.
Well, tell you.
Eventually.
All right, never mind. Go ahead, David. You can ask this guy anything.
Thinking.
And we'll do a portal. We'll do a side portal into Jimmy Neutron's brain before we answer. We'll put it on when people can't think of stuff.
That's so Raven.
I'll go in there for a little bit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Papas and Mamas.
Sweet.
Damn.
Pop that.
That was unanimous. Unanimous.
Yeah.
Sweet. Nothing more to be said there. Moving on.
Next.
Bring it on.
This question bears objectivity, meaning your opinions don't matter. I have the answer. Who has the most Grammys?
This is intriguing.
It's like, how long have the Grammys even been around, you know?
Since the 60s? Or
Two-
50s maybe?
I think like late 50s.
Too damn long.
So one of the earlier Grammys.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I think it's a trick question. I'm going to say they each have no Grammys.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm going to go with the Mamas and the Papas.
I have no fucking idea. I'm not being honest here.
Oh, you don't have to answer. That's fine.
I'm just gonna go Mamas and Papas as a blind guess of no clue.
You said you gave a blind guess. Well, by Lord, the blind can see. You guys were right.
Woo!
Mamas and the Papas
my
take the gold.
God.
I'll read you guys off the stats.
God, I'm good.
The Mamas and Papas have 2 Grammys
Ooh.
Nice.
and two nominees.
Dose.
And it was for pop performance by a duo or group for Monday Monday, and contemporary performance for Monday Monday.
Wow.
Nice.
And then they also got nominated for the best record Monday Monday, and performance by vocal group Monday Monday.
Wow.
So that song was nominated
Big song.
twice,
Monday.
and then
Monday,
as
Monday,
I said,
Monday,
it's their
Monday,
biggest song. And then on the side of the Byrds,
The beds.
1 nomination, 0 Grammys.
Fucking losers.
They were nominated in 1966 for Best New Artist.
Oh.
Wow.
That's still pretty cool.
Well, they weren't. So.
Well, no.
Sucks to be you.
Who did win Best New Artist that year? Do you have those facts?
I have 20 Grammys.
Fuck.
I do not. But I can look it up really quick.
I have so many Grammys.
Best New Artist,
I don't even know what to do.
1966.
I don't know what to do with all my Grammys.
Just turn them into cups and drink out of them.
Yeah.
Or make them playable.
Should melt them down. Then like forge them into like some crazy,
A sword?
Yeah, like a fucking. Yeah.
Something bad, like a big helmet or something.
The recipient of the Best New Artist, and I'll read the nominees first. It was the Byrds, Hermans, I don't know who that is.
Hermits.
Hermits Horst, Jankowski, Marilyn May, Sonny and Cher,
Sonny and Cher.
Glenn, and Yarbrough. And you know who won? Tom Jones. Tom Jones won
Oh,
Best
right on.
Artist. That's
Wow.
badass.
Tom Jones was lit.
What's New Pussycat?
You can't beat that stuff. I love Tom Jones.
He's actually coming to Chicago on tour.
Badass. I love it.
You guys ever see that video with Tom Jones and
Janis Joplin?
Janis Joplin?
Oh, yeah.
He goes hard. Harder than you'd think.
Yeah,
you know?
all right.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, something's hard out, right?
I walk hard.
Yeah.
No, it's a lonesome road, but I'm going to walk.
Erect.
I said walk. I did not fucking say erect. Get
No,
out.
you're walking erect.
You're gonna walk erect.
Walk erect.
Stiff-legged.
Erect. Down line. I'm ridicule too. We've been missing movies episodes lately. We're Dewey Cox is in the forecast.
Oh, yeah.
I
decided, so
I
I'm
am
saying it.
down.
I'm saying out loud. So we're gonna be doing it
Yeah,
soon.
we need to get some
Watch
movies
out.
up in here.
Sweet. All right, we're throwing it back. Best album cover. We're throwing it back to the first albums in which we talked about.
Okay.
If you can believe your eyes and ears versus Mr. Tambourine Man, what is the better album cover in your opinion? Give them a moment as they just kind of look at the album
take a
covers real
look-see
quick, let
here.
them soak it all in. Like I said, I have that record on vinyl, so it has a special place in my heart. Mr. Tambourine Man, it is a cool, picture. You got that fisheye view lens kind of vibe, very 60s. He wants to go. Just go.
The Byrds album cover's basic, man.
It is, but
It's basic.
it screams the time.
It's 1966. Man.
It looks like you'd see like
It's
something
basic
now
now,
though.
but it's
Like, I
basic.
feel like you'd see Harry Styles with that kind of album cover.
He's
Throwback.
fisheye, yeah.
You know?
I mean, fisheye is a big thing, you know.
Skateboard videos, dude.
Yeah. This isn't a Thrasher compilation. This is a fucking album. All right? Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not hating. I'm not saying it's bad. It's cool. But I'm just saying it's basic. So I'm going to go with Everyone in a Bathtub because that's unique and different. And when you see it, you're like, hey, they're in a bathtub. Boom. There you go. It wins right there.
I was gonna say, I was like, should we recreate the album cover? Be funny, but our fat asses would never fit in that freaking tub.
We can fit in the bathtub.
We have to
dude.
get a
think
big
so?
tub.
We can use Larry's pool.
We'll just stack on top of each other like beached whales. Oh, that's funny. All right, Larry. Better album.
You just gave me a cool idea, though. What if we did do an album and the entire thing was just us recreating a bunch of album covers?
Oh,
Like-
why don't we do like a calendar or
Like
something?
it was just a collage of different famous album covers and we just did our own remake of them.
House of the Holy Dude.
Yeah, like a bunch.
Just all naked on some rocks.
Like it could just be a big collage.
Dude.
Like,
no.
like front and back, just like collage of us doing album covers.
I'll do even one better. Well, yeah, no, I along those collage lines. But what if we all made it? Like, you ever see those pictures they're all pictures, all stacked, kind of like in a pixel-like like thing?
Yeah, it
you
makes
know?
one image.
So what if we
Yeah.
did classic album covers with us in it, but then it made a
but
new
it
album
made
cover?
a picture.
So it's almost inconspicuous. You'd have to look really close into it to
That's
see.
a good idea. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really interesting.
Drop something. But no, that would be cool. Interesting concept. See, this is stuff we should be talking about on our own, and we're giving it to you guys.
So steal it.
Plug your ears.
Like,
Go make millions. I already
subscribe
have
to the
enough.
podcast. Share the video if you like what we're talking about, huh?
How's that, huh?
Shameful plug, you know? All right. Larry never answered. Oh, wait, go ahead.
Come on, dude.
I mean, when you think about it, man, you're
Blame
looking.
David. Don't get mad at Larry.
Think about the
He's been hogging the
album
mic the whole
covers,
time.
You know,
Sorry.
like
Can't even stop talking on the mic. Larry can't even get a word in.
This is my job.
It's hard out here, dude.
I haven't answered either.
Well, maybe you guys don't get to answer.
All right, go ahead, Larry.
Maybe only I answer.
think about Mama Cass, dude, just dropping a
There's a funny
deuce right in
thing.
that toilet in that bathroom, dude.
Bro,
I wonder
Think
whose
about
bathroom that is.
They're all shitting in that motherfucker. You know it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you're looking, they're obviously recording in that.
Steamy,
You know what I'm
steamy.
saying? They're all in the bathtub, man. In the '60s, they're shitting, dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
There's
shit
definitely
into
some
the
shit.
tub together
think
on
about
acid
that. You
and
know?
shit.
I'm not
probably.
saying in the tub, man. Come on. I mean,
I mean, do you think?
That's kind of what he said.
the toilet's in the cover. It's like you're
When-
taking a picture of a toilet and you're putting it on your album cover, and you're making millions, man. I mean, they're shitting in there, dude. You know, that's the $1 million pots.
They
When
do
do
be
you-
shitting.
When do you guys think was the
On a
last
Monday,
time they cleaned the
Monday.
tub before the photo
Yeah,
shoot?
that
Last time
that
somebody
toilet that toilet is a little sus, man. I mean, take a gander at that.
It's a little
and
sus.
take a gander at that thing, man. Peep that album cover and really look at the detail in that bathroom. I mean, they're not using hygiene. I mean, they have no hygiene. You don't think? I mean, but musically, I mean, the album's great. You know,
It's like a toilet you'd see at elementary school too.
yeah.
That's a
You know
small
what I'm saying?
toilet.
But yeah, I mean, think
So-
about it. I wonder if that toilet's still up. I mean,
Is the house there?
where does this take? You
I don't know.
We got to find this out.
This is why we weren't letting you talk. just answer the question.
I said
please.
mom's in the pot.
Oh, you did? Sorry. Well, you didn't really. You kept like dancing around. All right, Frank, go
You
ahead.
just said they were shitting.
Yeah, you're like this MF for shitting.
I mean, think about it.
I'm picking the mamas and the pops.
It's because that toilet,
The
too.
ma's pa's. Yeah, I mean, I shit. Everybody shits, you know.
We all shit.
We all shit.
Mama Cass.
Sweet.
She
It was
be shit.
unanimous.
Everybody shits.
Everybody now. All right.
that Mama Cass?
Boom.
Next question.
Who was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame first?
Oh, shit.
Probably the toilet.
It could. I mean,
Dude, it says the toilet. If you can believe your eyes and ears, got inducted to the Hall of Fame before the Mamas and Papas.
The toilet is the most legendary of them all.
I mean, there it is. Dude.
He's the fifth Beatle. You got the fifth toilet for the Mamas and
You know
Papas.
it's
That's the
going
fifth
down.
member.
Oh,
It looks
boy.
Clyde.
Clyde.
Wait, can you still edit like Wikipedia and put BS on there? Like,
I
Hell
think
yeah.
so, yeah.
should I put as like the fifth member? I'll put the toilet.
That's
That
it.
is on. If you can believe your eyes and
Yeah.
ears, I'll do it like obnoxiously long and very specific.
Hey, people use toilets. People use toilets to record, man.
Yeah, Paul
Dude,
McCartney.
Paul
There is-
McCartney has.
All the stuff you have like in your box and you know in your digital recording these days, it's all copycatted by stuff like by people who had to get scrappy with their effects and just like put microphones in different things in front of different things and just create sounds.
Damn, we should record something on a grill.
Dude.
Dude, that's innovation right there. It'll be called smoking.
Yeah.
We'll record in there while something's smoking. Maybe a brisket, and then we'll eat it later.
We'll eat the mic.
Dude,
No.
wait.
I'm down.
So, who do you think went in first? Anybody can ask.
I'm saying the Byrds.
I'll go with the Byrds too.
I think they broke up first.
I mean, that don't mean shit, but
It might.
it might.
I mean, I don't fucking know. I'm
Okay,
just guessing.
so
you're talking about.
you were correct.
Hell yeah.
The Byrds got inducted in
I knew it.
1991,
Damn.
Wow.
and then Mamas and Papas was 98. And
Wow.
shocker, they played California Dreaming.
Of course they have to.
Of course.
Awesome.
It was in the writer.
Man, it feels like Mamas and Papas are ruling this, but the Byrds got the objectivity here. Don't lie. It don't lie. Moving on to 3-point round. Overall, better catalog. Whose sound, whose music, all the songs. Who do you like more? Who has the stronger set of songs?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Larry.
I don't know who has a stronger set of songs, but I've listened to the Byrds more than I have the Moms and the Papas, so I have to give my vote to them.
Wow.
Sweet. Frank.
I'm saying the Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah, you just like more of their songs.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I feel like David Crosby, when he left the Byrds and started Crosby, Stills and Nash, I mean, I'd rather be listening to that. And you could tell it's like an offshoot because it's him and he was in the Byrds.
The Byrds were pretty decent when he left, but
Yeah.
it was not the Byrds that
No.
the Byrds are known for. Yeah.
No. So yeah, I'm picking Mamas and the Papas.
Sweet. David.
Sweet.
David.
I'm going to go with the Byrds.
Birdland.
Ooh, wow.
The Birdies.
Ooh, wow.
Birdland.
Like more songs.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Influence on music.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can take it different angles. You can take it as a group. You can take it where some people went after. You know, you could be a launching pad for a greater career. You know, there's plenty of ways you can look at it. I'm gonna throw it to David.
All right. Well, so the thing here is I got to go Mamas and Papas because I feel like, as we've discussed with many things, including the album cover and stuff, I feel like the Byrds are a little bit more signature of the time. And I'm going to go with the thing that is more timeless as more influential. That's my take. If that makes any sense. Makes sense to me.
I
So
like that.
that's how I'm going to go about it.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I think like when it's all said and done, more people to this day are talking about Mamas and Papas over the Byrds.
Yeah, I feel especially nowadays because in a weird way, like the female movement is a huge thing, and I feel like you have people like Stevie Nicks that like tons of women are like became bigger fans of now. Like younger women are like, oh my God, Stevie Nicks, like she's so awesome.
Yeah.
And Mama Cass, like the female movement is attached to that. So I feel like it kind of like revitalizes them, like the Mamas and Papas, to a younger generation now. If that makes any sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
You know what I mean?
Sweet. Larry.
What's the question?
It's just
More influential.
And more influential.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends. I mean, that question could be different for anyone, but I feel like generally, I would say Mamas and the Papas for being more relevant just because of their songs. Their songs are just more popular songs. I mean, I don't know if that's a fact, but I'm gonna call it one. But the Byrds, because of David Crosby, you know, was like a root of an entire vein of sound that happened like throughout the 70s and like on. And it all pretty much started with, you know, the Byrds, Dylan, you know, that whole 60s folk thing that was happening. But like the Byrds were one of the first like main bands to do that with an electric band, which made it cool, you know, like. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Mamas and the Papas too.
Wow.
Would you say that quote unquote folk bands getting more electric, like the Byrds, is what influenced Bob Dylan to go electric?
I don't know, man. Bob Dylan might have done it first.
I'd have to look at the year. I'd have to look at the
Maybe
years.
not.
I might be ignorant to it.
We're talking we're talking about like within a year, because I know in 1965 Bob Dylan had an album out with a full band, and that's
then he actually did it before the Byrds.
The Byrds' first album came out in 65. So I don't know which one came first, but it's literally the same time. So whatever.
And they covered a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah. Turn, Turn, Turn is actually a cover too. They didn't write that song. That's a Pete Seeger song from the 50s.
Yeah.
Pete Seeger's like an old American like roots and folk singer, banjo player and singer who like traveled the country with Woody Guthrie.
Great artist.
Yeah, he's got a lot of great music, but he actually wrote Turn, Turn, Turn. And that's not the name of the song that he wrote, but those are the lyrics, and the Byrds called it Turn, Turn, Turn. And then I think maybe even in parentheses it says something with the season or something. I don't know. I can't think of it now, but yeah.
Sweet.
Little tangent there. But yeah, as far as the music thing, Mamas and the Papas was the question.
Mama's Baby, Frank?
I already lost, but I would go with the Byrds just because I feel like without the Byrds having the hit, then the Mamas and Papas wouldn't have ever had a hit. Because they were both from the same area. They literally both lived in the same area.
In the valley.
Laurel Canyon.
Yeah, or the canyon, whatever, yeah.
There's a movie, it used to be on Netflix, I'm not sure if it still is, but there's literally a scene where, I forget who's talking, but they're like, you know, why can't we have a hit? They're like, the Byrds have a hit. And like, it was one of those things where it's like, they didn't expect to become so popular, but because of the time that they were in, that was just the next movement of sound that everybody wanted to listen to, especially if you were living in California in the 60s.
The 60s, yeah.
That's like the quintessential like
they were
hippie
all,
vibe.
Like,
when you think of
together.
the hippies, you're thinking of like San Francisco, California, like
the
sunshine,
Doors, the
blue
Doors
skies.
Are from California, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those famous
A lot of
bands
the
were,
American like 60s, you know, pop like bands and shit.
Yeah. It was just the place to be.
Rock on. All right.
Rock on.
Rock.
It's time.
Time you say?
He said it's time.
It's time.
It is time.
Time.
Ladies and gentlemen. It's time.
Time for what?
For
The
Bonus round. Time for the bonus round.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll just go to get out the way.
Okay.
I just mentioned it, but that the fact that they're both from Laurel Canyon is pretty impressive. So I'm going to give both bands 3 points for that. I'm going to give another point to the Mamas and the Papas for the flute solo. And then I'm going to give another point to the Byrds for David Crosby. So 4 and 4.
My door is 4. All right, Lair.
I will award no points.
Wow.
Short.
At all?
That's fine. You don't have to. There's no rule.
There are no rules in the bonus round.
Go ahead, David.
So, I'm going to give Mamas and Papas 3 points for the fact that they had like such a good vocal group, and that being the thing, and all the melodies and harmonies, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's really awesome. So I think I got to give them points for that alone. And then with the Byrds, I'm going to give them 2 points. And that's for being, when you talk about like that 60s folk, psychedelic, like whole sound and movement, like they're kind of like they're like the band that you really think of when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know? So I got to give them some points and respect for just for who they are.
For being
and their position.
Points for being.
Yeah. Points for being.
Sweet.
I'm just going to leave it at that, simply enough.
Awesome. For my bonus points. Okay. I'm going to give 5 to the Mamas and Papas, but I'm a duck 2, making it 3.
Wow.
Oh boy.
So
Drama.
coming in.
Hot.
I know we talked about California Dreaming a lot, but it literally plays at my house every single Sunday.
It's that oldies
blaring. They just have making pasta on a Sunday, all this old stuff playing every morning, and you damn sure are gonna hear it just the late, like loud, bro. Hearing Nick and John every Sunday being Jags, dude. And you know what? I know
the leaves are brown.
You said I think I've heard it too many times. No, I've heard it too many times. And
well, then you feel me.
I don't. I love that song, and I have fun doing it because they have fun doing it, and I come up and I sing it with them, and I think it's that type of song. It just goes hard.
It does.
So for that song alone, I'm gonna give it the negative 2 points. Is upon my research, John Phillips had an incestual relationship with his daughter, and
gross.
You know, some people subscribe to the love is love, but that doesn't matter with science, and you're fucking up the population, so don't do it.
Yeah, boo that fucking guy. Boo!
Get him out of here!
I don't want to get too taboo. I just found that out, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to negative point him.
Fair enough.
Definitely
Sweet.
some negative life points there.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's terrible. I mean, I'm not going to talk any more crap. I just thought it was crazy. And then for the Byrds, I'm going to give them 3 points. And for what Frank said, David Crosby, I love Crosby, Stills, and Nash, all of them. And I think what they did, the music and like all the stuff, we did a Woodstock show with some local Chicago musicians. What was it, 2 years ago?
3.
It wasn't featuring the whole band,
4.
but it was a compilation of a bunch of bands around the Chicagoland area, and that me, David, and Larry were a part of. We did it for the 50th anniversary of Woodstock, and we played Pre-Roads Down.
It was 4 years ago, 19.
Oh, wow.
I think 5 years ago, 18.
No, it was for the 50th anniversary, 69.
Oh, 69,
19.
69, yes.
But that whole set was awesome, and I think we all leveled up from just, like, learning those songs, and I definitely got better, like, harmony vocally-wise, because you're really challenged learning a Crosby, Stills, and Nash song, along with playing bass, and the bass on that song is actually pretty, like, busy, you know what I mean? So, all those parts. Na-na-na-na. He's like,
Pre-road.
Those roses. That was hard, dude. I remember, like, I had to, like, literally sit in my room, play the bass, and practice the harmonies. Yeah, it sounded awesome. Apparently, the recording of it is, like, done. We got told that, right? So
I think so.
So yeah, it might be out, and then we'll share it. I don't know when it's going to be out, and I can't promise anything. But once it is, I'll put it in the show notes. I'll promise that. I just can't promise you when it comes out.
It's a mystery.
It's out of our hands.
And then another thing, a part of that 3 points, and this is another kind of crazy, and it's not a rumor, it's a fact, but it's crazy that we didn't know any of this stuff, and we put these bands together. They're from the same area, from around the same time, playing folk music, and Michelle Phillips and Gene Clark had an affair around that time. They were having an affair.
Sheesh.
Those bands were closer related than we knew.
Yeah.
They're very close. Very, very, very close. She actually got kicked. She got kicked out for like a short period of time during that, and then they brought her back in.
For that reason?
Yeah, and
Really?
they're married. I mean, John Phillips.
Then they would have just been the moms and the papas, you know, or the mom and
the mom and the papas. But they had another girl in for a short period of time.
Oh, really?
And I can't even, I remember the song, but the song on the next album that came out after, there's a song about the situation written by the other band members that knew what was going on or found out, and they told them.
Yeah.
They, you know what I mean? Looking out for a homie, basically.
They told him in song.
Hey, that'd be
They're
fucked.
like, dude, listen to this. She's
Yeah.
cheating on you.
Get the fuck out.
Bogus. But,
Oh, no.
Yikes.
but yeah, I thought it was just an interesting fact. That was cool. I wonder,
Drumama.
Little 60s.
Oh yeah, here it is. I got the thing. Doherty and John Phillips co-wrote the song "I Saw Her Again" about the affair.
Oh boy,
Like I saw her doing it again. Like type, you know, that's what the song's about.
Yeah.
I saw her standing
And
there.
they couldn't keep the secret any
another
longer,
man.
and it came out. But yeah, those are my points. Talk amongst yourselves while I tally up the votes.
Talk.
Dog.
We should have like a little like music to be played during these parts, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like Jeopardy.
The doo-doo-doo.
Maybe we should cover Jeopardy and
We
record
could,
it.
we
Dude.
could pull up the acoustic, do a little live song of the intermission.
Oh shit! What
I
a
think it would be
fabulous
cool
idea.
to record the Jeopardy song, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're learning this
Our own
streaming
version.
thing on the
We
fly.
can have it.
But we're definitely going to try to incorporate some sound bites to make things more interesting as we go along.
Or not.
Nah, we're going
We
to.
might. Yeah, we probably will.
Look,
We don't
gonna
have
do
to,
it.
but
we're going to do what we want. All right.
All right, the polls are in.
Uh-oh.
Winner. Anyone want to guess?
Chicken dinner.
the Byrds.
Dude, you're so shit wrong. Like, you couldn't even be more wrong. So,
Oh man,
the,
perfect pitch. Knocked that one right out of the park.
Wow.
You're so shit wrong.
Fucking terrible.
So it's the
Mamas and
Byrds.
Papas, it's 22. The Byrds, 16.
That's what I thought.
So the Birds won?
You swung, but you struck out hard.
The Byrds. The Byrds lost.
Birds lost. So, we have our winner. It's the Mamas and the Papas.
Yes.
This is a, hard-fought battle. I think one kind of had the edge.
Little strong arm.
Strong.
All the leaves are brown.
Oh, you bet your ass.
Brown. Yeah,
Maybe that was a poop joke because of the toilet.
Oh, dude. Think about it, dude.
All the leaves.
Is there
are
toilet
brown.
paper? Dude, is
Dude,
there,
they're not even
is
gonna
there
know,
toilet
dude.
paper in the
They're
picture?
using
dude?
leaves.
Oh my god.
The leaves are the
Goddamn
toilet
hippies.
paper, dude. The leaves are the toilet paper in the bathroom from the album cover.
Dude.
That's the Mamas and Papas.
All the leaves
They're in
are
the
brown.
canyon,
That's
dude.
it.
No toilet paper, dude.
Does the
We
bear shit in the
cracked
woods?
the code.
Think about it.
Do the mamas and the papas shit in that toilet?
Probably, man.
With the brown
Honestly.
leaves.
I wouldn't doubt it.
All right,
Jesus.
friends. That's been Battle Spree.
Dun-dun.
You
late
got
there.
your timing. Make sure if you're into this podcast at all, make sure you leave a rating review in audio land. Let us know what you think.
Tell us.
Share with your friends. And then also share the YouTube video and smash that
Oh.
like
Whoa.
button.
Like button.
Go ahead and smash it.
Go ahead.
Smash
Do
that
people say that
motherfucker.
still? Go ahead and smash that like button. Let us know what you think.
Dude.
You got any cool episode recommendations? Or if you thought like one of our matchups were fucking stupid, just let us know.
Just say something.
We have gotten it before. We're like, oh, I think it was better. But that's the beauty of it. You could have your own podcast.
God bless, huh?
But
Yeah.
this is ours.
Yeah.
So, but no, seriously, if you guys have a better recommendation, let us know.
Please.
Or any future episodes. And eventually we're going to run out of artists. So if you ever think any cool rehashes of things we've done in the past that we can do, you know, maybe some new mashups, that'd be pretty dope.
Tournament style.
Think about it.
Dude, maybe
We just go with the winners. Put the winners against each other.
Oh, good idea, Frank. Dude,
Come
we
on,
think
dude.
about we think about what we're going to do on here while we're on air. It's terrible.
It's good. Then you listen back, you almost forget.
You're like, oh, this is our mental notes, guys. Well, that's been Battle Supreme. Whoop, whoop. Everybody enjoy your week.
yeah, baby.
Happy
Life's
day,
great.
you know?
Yeah, life's great. Peace out. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah.
Legacy in the battle supreme.